All right, let's talk about these
Speaking of
Cleveland
Super Bowl
Browns.
winners,
Joe Flacco did it in January 2013 or February 2013 in New Orleans.
we were there.
We were there. Golly, that was over a decade ago.
That's when Breach pulled the plug on the power the power
he
cord.
just started at CBS.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco bet on himself that season, and Joe Flacco won. Joe Flacco was sitting on his mom's couch a month ago, and Joe Flacco is currently winning. Tough start. First 3 quarters weren't great. It don't matter because the fourth quarter is all that matters when you're talking about comeback Joe. Now, listen, I'm going to start with the loser. I don't like to do this, but sweet mercy alive, Darnell Mooney catch the ball in the end zone. Robert Tanya, don't drop a 73-yard touchdown pass, hit you in the hands. Whatever the Browns, a win is a win. As my buddy who's a Browns fan pointed out to me, the Browns have had plenty of bad luck. The Bears can deal with it. So this team is 9-5. The number 5 seed is all but locked up. They're not going to move up. I don't think they're winning the division. And I contend, Brinson, they're winning the playoff game.
I guess that I can get behind that if
5 feet against the AFC South winner, Brinson.
Yeah, I mean Joe Flacco going to Jacksonville feels like a bad spot for Trevor Lawrence in the Jacksonville.
People don't want no Joe Flacco.
January Joe.
I mean January Joe. Where they're 9-5 now. Man, the Jaguars defense has been bad. The Browns should be able to run against them. They weren't able to run against the Bears at all. Should be able to run against the Jaguars. Well, Jaguars are decent against the run, but they should be able to move the ball against the Jaguars. And the Browns defense is so good, it wouldn't shock me if they went in there and won that game. What if the Jaguars were favored by more than 3 points? I'm definitely taking the Browns against the spread.
Absolutely.
I think so, but the Bears were +3 in this game.
And they covered.
And look, the Bears got handed all of their points by Joe Flacco, ironically enough, because he threw the pick 6, which was
called building drama breach.
Well, and then he threw the interception.
Look at this list, by the way.
And then
back-to-back games with 300 yards passing and 2 passing touchdowns in Browns history. Joe Flacco became the 4th person, the 5th quarterback behind Baker Mayfield, Josh McCown in 2015, and Brian Sipe in 79 and 80. What a run for Browns quarterbacks.
And let's not forget Brian Sipe won MVP in 1980. Yeah. So Joe Flacco obviously well on the way to putting himself in the MVP conversation right now. But yeah, I mean, that was the thing, is that Joe Flacco, the Browns defense dominated the Bears. And that's what I was saying, is that you had the pick 6. That's how the Bears got a touchdown. And they had another interception that they got down to the Browns 1-yard line. That's how they got another touchdown. So, I mean, the Browns defense played fantastic. It was like Flacco was throwing interceptions just so he could set himself up for this magical fourth quarter. We saw the numbers earlier. He threw for 212 yards in the fourth quarter. That is the most yards in a fourth quarter of a game that any Browns quarterback has thrown for in at least 50 years. And the most fourth quarter yards by any NFL quarterback this season. I mean, 212 yards in one quarter is insane. That is 848 yards if you did that in every quarter of a game. I mean,
it's funny, Breach. Some of the throws he made in that fourth quarter were Lamar Jackson type throws. Like he was pretending to be Lamar Jackson for Halloween a month and a half late. The Njoku floater was amazing. The long ball, I think Amari Cooper was amazing. Let me ask you guys this fun fact. Coming into this week, I had pulled a stat out of the trash here because I wanted to double check. Most quarterback wins at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Number 1 is Baker Mayfield since 1999, since the stadium opened. Baker's at number 1 at 18 wins. Big Ben is second at 12 wins, which is embarrassing for an away quarterback to be. At number 3, now Browns quarterback Joe Flacco. He's at 11 wins in Cleveland Browns Stadium, 3rd most all time.
I just kind of did some quick, and I have to double check this later, but I did some quick playoff machine math. I'm just going to spitball some stuff at you. Week 16, Browns beat the Texans. Dolphins beat the Cowboys, which you can give the Cowboys the win if you want. I don't care. That doesn't matter for our purposes. And the Niners beat the Ravens. Okay. All seem fair? Right?
Well, you have
Joe Flacco win the division? Is that where this is going?
Week 17, Browns beat the Jets. Not out of this world. Dolphins beat the Ravens. And that's all that really matters because those teams are playing each other. And then week 18, the Bills beat the Dolphins. The Browns beat the Bengals. And the Ravens beat the Steelers. Playoff machine has the Browns as the 1 seed.
There you go.
What if Joe Flacco gets the 1 seed?
Well, they just signed him a new deal. I mean, they realized right quick.
Where he gets $75,000 per win in the regular season. Joe got a $75,000 bonus.
But those wins and losses that I'm talking about are not outrageous at all. Like, that's a perfectly reasonable way for this to play out. I don't think it's going to happen, but man, you give January Joe the 1 seed, and the Browns might win the damn Super Bowl.
Okay,
it's not preposterous.
It sort of is.
Well, you know what though? Is that here's the thing, and we keep mentioning January Joe, is if fourth quarter Joe Flacco, the guy from the fourth quarter of this game, shows up in the playoffs, they can literally beat anyone. I mean, if he goes out there and he's just dicing people up and throwing dimes for the whole game, you're not going to beat the Browns. I mean, it's unbelievable the way he played. There is no reason he should be able to throw for 212 yards, and yet he did it. And so that makes this team scary.
And the year that they won the Super Bowl, which was 2012 season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Flacco's 2012 season, he completed less than 60% of his passes, didn't even throw for 4,000 passing yards. This was not somebody who was lighting the NFL on fire, then got to the playoffs, was like, ha, ha, ha. Now, I mean, granted, like the team was 10, they were only 10-6. This Browns team is going to have a better record. I mean,
and they won it because he had one of the greatest playoff runs in NFL history.
But that's my point is like this guy, we know that's in there, and he's playing like into the fourth quarter of regular season games. What if he just has another one of the greatest playoff runs in